Welcome to Elden Ring. My name is Nilaus, and this is a guide to the western part of Caelid Wilds. This whole area, Caelid Wilds and Dragon Barrow, is actually containing 9 dungeons, and I'm going to cover 5 of them here. I'm deliberately not including the fort, but just focusing on dungeons. That's what we've been doing a walkthrough of those, so you can see how that's done. If you like these kind of videos, then be sure to hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel to keep up with the more Elden Ring content here on the channel. Let's dive into the first one. The first one is the Gael Tunnels, and I would recommend going into this for 2 reasons. It's the one that's closest. Here we're just looking at how to get there. There are 2 guards right in front, and this is the fort down south. So the reason why I would recommend it, it's very close, and it's also a tunnel. So tunnel means that you get a lot of crafting materials. That's what we're going to do. In case you're sort of been following along and wonder what the hell that was, then that was my new great shield. It is it's jellyfish shield. You find it in Western Liurnia in just a random camp that is protected by a few. That's protected by a few of the jellyfish. So you just go there, and it's super awesome. Like, it's a great shield. It doesn't weigh very much, and it has this contagious fury, which adds like 10% attack power. So, and it costs like 8 or something, 8 or 10 focus points. So it's really cheap, and with all of the backstabs I do and critical hits, then I recover that pretty quickly. So that's a great way when you're running around sword and board and getting some extra attack power. So here we are. We got the grace, and now we are exploring further into this. Now, level wise, I am level 77, and I have a plus 12 weapon, I think. I would recommend, this might be a bit over leveled, but I think you're going to be having a bad time if you come in here sort of less than 60. Definitely, I would say go do all of the only other legs before going into into this. It gets really progressively a lot more difficult. So here I'm really fishing for the backstab, but that's not really working. So okay, never mind. We'll get enough backstabs in here. We don't need to be desperate to fish for it. This one, yeah, there's a lot of different areas here. Also different places to go, so we are just going to head this way because this is a dead end, so we want to go there. Again, always do that buff up because I'm going to get 15 focus points back from the backstab, so that's super nice. And again, I love this way. This build has so much sustain for normal builds, like for dungeon running, because you will keep up your mana, your focus points, and your hit points so easily. So here we have some land octopus that have somehow gotten into the cave. They are easy, just a single stab. And then we have the big one. Okay, hey, stop that. So, the big one. The tactic for the big ones is always you go in here, right to the peak, and then you do a fully charged attack. Boom. Then it just falls down. You get some nice healing. And then I switch to two-handed. And we just wait. And we do it again. And then it gets knocked down again. You can knock it down immediately, and that actually, for my build, makes these antibiotics just lots of nice healing. So we clear the room, get whatever loot is in here. We cross Naginata, whatever. And there are also, I think there are about 7 Smithing Stone 4 in this dungeon, so do make sure you look around and get all of them if possible. Because this is probably the level where you want... This is probably what you want to upgrade your weapon with at this moment. I think level 4 gets you to plus 12, so that's a good thing. Then it actually means I'm plus 11 at this point. So here we backstab, and then we have these 2 here. The one standing at the back will do a flame with the lamp, so I'm just trying to separate them a bit. And we just take the first one. And then we can take the other one, and we don't want him to start the fire. So with leap attack, and then stagger him for the rest of the way. That's good. Again, just do the buff all the time. I really enjoy it. Also, it's kind of silly. It looks really silly to have a big jellyfish here. And another really cool thing about it is it's sometimes difficult to see if you have your buff up, but having a big red shield is pretty easy to see. All right, in here at the back, there's a guy who is having a horn, and I did not manage to kill him before he blew the horn, so now I have to fight everything at once. So let's just get a bit of distance. And of course, well, let's loot before while we do anything else. And we just try to figure out if we can do it in a simple way. That is not a simple way. Alright. Oh, he's about to do flames. Yeah, this is not a great move. So I think for these, just get a bit of distance and then do some poke in there. Very simple. They have very slow attacks. And we got that. And I really want that. Oh, yeah, this thing, I don't know. I blocked him and then he blew up. I don't know what happened. It hurt a lot. So we just heal up, mind our own business, and clean up all of the loot in this area before progressing further and deeper into this dungeon. This has so much good loot. And all of those smithing stones, absolutely amazing. So, run on forwards. Here's another guy. I forgot to sneak, so alas, we could get some heals, but we'll get enough heals around here for whatever we need. Smoldering butterfly, that's a weird thing to have. Here's another guard. We can take him out before he gets up. And we can start working on our... There. It doesn't really matter. You're going to kill them in 2 hits. At least I do. 2 hits. So whether you take 80% or 75% in the first attack doesn't really matter. But it's just good practice. There. Get that. Get that item. Nothing particularly interesting in my opinion. Okay, but that is interesting. Smithing stone 4. Absolutely. You can probably come here way earlier and sort of make do with it. Now, this to the right hand side, this one is the boss, but we're not going to go there. We're going to open this door. I suspect this door is unable to open from the other side. And who is this guy?
This was supposed to be a dead end, I'm sure of it. What's going on here? A door from thin air? Well, stranger things happen at sea, or so I'm told. But onward to the Caelid wilds. Gosh, that dead end had me rather stumped.
Right, silly.
It's time I set off to the festival at Redmane Castle on the southern edge of the Scarlet rot-blighted Caelid wilds. Doesn't the thought just set your heart aflutter?
Now, if he's not here, that's because you've been too close to Redmane Castle before you got here, and then he will have moved to that location. It doesn't do anything. This is basically just a breadcrumb that tells you go to Redmane Castle. I kind of suspect that they want you to go to Redmane Castle before cleaning up all of Caelid, because Caelid is tougher than Redmane Castle. Definitely. And here you are. You are in Limgrave. Maybe you've actually been here and found this entrance and walked in and found the dead end. Either way, now it's no longer a dead end. It is an entrance for us, and we can now go in to kill the boss fight. Now, there is no reason not to just buff up here, because there's nothing that changes because of our respawn. So we just go in and then we can buff up as we want. Now I am going to not use my usual fire grease, but actually use some, I don't know, some magic grease, because it's a big fire salamander magma something. So let's not use fire on this. Use anything but fire, I guess. I don't know, bleed and rot is probably not working. Anyway, magic is fine. Go, and we are summoning our... Are we? Yeah, we're summoning here. It doesn't matter. This is a special one we got for a quest. She's not doing much. She's really good if you can keep her safe, but I can't. Instead, I decide to stand in lava, which is not a great idea, so don't do that. But the idea is we can just get in here, just wail away on the magma worm. We should be able to knock it down. And I really just want to get it knocked down. Roll. There we go. Now it's knocked down. And we go up for the stab. It does a fair bit. Like 1000 damage. But, okay. So this one also, it has a weird hitbox. The hitbox is not the same size as the entire salamander. So you think you can hit the limbs, the wings, the tail, but you really only can hit the body. So consider that, and outside from that, just stay out of the fire and hack away when possible. It's all good. And then we cleared that dungeon. Not getting anything interesting from it. Moonveil and a dragon heart. So, moving on to the next. Next one is minor Erdtree Catacombs. The reason why I'm choosing this one is because it's kind of nearby. So you probably go up here to the minor Erdtree, and when you kill that really, really annoying avatar, then you can go in here afterwards, or you can just ride around it. We go into the minor Erdtree Catacombs. Catacombs means either skeletons or Gargoyles. In this case, it is gargoyles. So, we are moving forward. And here's an elevator, and we know the trick. Elevators turn around. Always, always, always. There is an exit, except not in this case. But there's actually a good reason, because there is a secret door around this yeah, what's it called? This elevator. It's just not like that. But it's really cleverly made, the way it's done, because they have openings on either side. Which means you're going to go to one side, like the way we do here. Getting stuff. I know there's two in here, but then I go like, never mind. Maybe there's only one, but there were two. And here I really fished very hard for a backstab, because, well, I want to get that backstab. You took some health away, now I'm going to get it back. There we go. Get that backstab back. Heal up. And we just run around just to make sure that we didn't miss anything. And there's a few more here. There's one more as we progress further into the room. Falls down on us. There we go. Should have seen that coming. Well, I did block it, so that's fine. And then we have the lever. And then the lever just opens the door further away. So what happens now, and I think this is the way that the game designs it. So in the clever way that you get a really nice clue. So you go back to the elevator room and say, okay, it goes like this. And then you accidentally step on it, so the elevator goes up, and you realize there is actually something downstairs. That's pretty cool. So we'll take that downstairs, but first I just want to show what's here. This is a miserable, miserable place full of scarlet rot, poison swamp thing. And the way to take it out is to throw... I'm using the fire pots, and they work wonders against those. But that's not going to be right now. We are just going down in order to go up, because we can use that as our way back. There we go. Take one. And even though that looks like there's a secret door, there isn't any secret door. And we go down here and see more toxic swamp. So I'm going in here just to make them fall from the ceiling. And then we can use our fire pots just to kill them. They don't quite kill them, but I can use my pathetic crossbow to do the rest of the work. Yay. Just try to not get poisoned. Right, so then we're gonna run in, and there is a convenient loot at a safe spot that you want, that the game wants you to jump into that trap. But of course it's a trap. You run here, and this, it's safe, but go all the way into the corner, and then it falls down. If you just stand and pick up the loot, you will be dropped down this. By the way, if you want to fight these, they will always attack the location they were attacked from last. So, attack once, move around. Same as the Dark Souls. And okay, let's splat it. And there we go. Now we can get that Grave Violet thing. There are two exits. We are going to take the little exit here on the side to move up and progress, and then we'll come back and take the other one afterwards. Buff up again. There's always something. There's always something. Where are you? So here's something that really bugs me. There are small crabs, and you know the rule is if you see small crabs, there will also be big crabs. But I have not found any big crabs in this dungeon. And I'm like, I know I've been here, and I know I've been hacking at the walls, but it annoys me that I find small crabs and not a big crab. That it is not coherent. I've gotten so used to that fact. It's like having loot behind a waterfall. There has to be. It's just how the rules go. So we come all the way up here. Let's buff up again. Actually convenient that we can kill them in one slash. More grave glove ward. Also dead, and there's a one behind us somehow. What a miss. And this one is an imp head wolf. It's actually a really good item. I can't remember what it gives, but it gives some buff that's actually not bad. And we just go for this part. And we can also kill the other one, and we hit knocks down. Oh yeah, it increases endurance by 2. So if you really want it, then you can get the endurance by 2. So down here we have now that pit. This is the pit we were looking at before, and I said we'll come back and take it from the other side. This is much easier to take it from up here. You can stand up here and just throw your fire pots at them. There are a few more over on the right hand side, but apparently I don't see those. So instead I take this one and then accidentally fall down. Luckily this area in here is a safe area. Get that. So there are quite a lot, and if you fight them like this, it's just going to be a bad time. It's also just going to take forever. And we have 3 more. Let's just throw some grenades at them and be done with it. There you go. And then we can get the loot in the middle. That was just Aeonian butterfly. So it looked like a big shiny loot, but it wasn't. Now I'm almost forgetting this. And this one is actually super precious. This part is the Grove Ward 5. That's up for upgrading your spirit summons to level 5. And I think this is actually your first time you can find one. I think so. I'm not really sure, but it's definitely good to have it there. And otherwise, it's the first time you can upgrade the second one, or something to that effect. So in here, we've been here, we took the path to the right, and now we just continue onwards. I decide that I want to go in here. By the way, don't roll in this crap, because it'll get stuck to your clothes, and then it'll keep going up even when you're out of it. But I rolled into this, so it's fine. Moving forward, and we have now the door that was opened by the lever early on, and we are ready for the boss fight. Now this boss fight is, maybe because I'm just careless, it's really difficult, but well, that's probably why. Buff up, I'm going to do 2-hander. It is 2 of those annoying cat things. The watchdog cat thing statues. The trick is that you want to go in, when you go in, you want to kill one of them first. So you focus on one, obviously, because they have like really annoying attacks. Maybe I just haven't spent enough time to really understand their attacks. But since the sword guy is the one that comes in closer, I'm going to focus on the sword guy and get absolutely wrecked. So basically, I would say, well, the sword guy doesn't have the casting thing, so you don't want to be fighting both at once. And then the problem is that their attacks will stagger so much that even when you have an opening against one, you will not be having an opening against the other one. So it's really just trying to separate them, and then don't do that, because that's how you get yourself killed. It's really hard to get in there and get some attacks in without getting punished by the other one. Well, flames it is. Good time to heal. And as you can see, we're just focusing on the sword guy, and that's the only one that actually matters. That's a good opening. And I'm just waiting on him, and I got too greedy as always. And here comes that one, if we just ignore that, and then we kill it. Kill it! There you go. Now it's easy with only the second one, so now I'm just being extra careless by just wailing away on these, instead of actually dodging and blocking or anything like that. But once there's one, we've done that before, so we know how to do that. Also, I think these have significantly more poise, because normally the other ones we've seen, they would definitely have been poise broken by now. I'm just not getting the poise broken on these. But anyway, after a bit of time and a bit of carelessness, we will eventually get it, just through our superior core. So that was pretty easy. There was not much here. You get a mad pumpkin head summon for that, and we can move on to the next dungeon. Next one is the Gaol Cave, weirdly spelled. This is where it is. It's inside this swamp, and you have to use 2 keys to open it, but you get 1 refunded later on, so it's not that expensive. And it's definitely worth it, because, I mean, what else would you use the keys for if not for opening doors? So into the Gaol Cave. Man, it has bothered me a long time that it's pronounced jail when it's spelled like that, but it is. And we get a bit of loot. And for our troubles, we get a rune arc. Yay! Moving in. Now, this part, there are no difficult fights in this one. The difficulty of this one is not getting lost. It is super easy to get lost, so I'll try to guide you through it and give you a good way of doing it. The fights in here are not that complicated. Now, we come into the second room. There's one rat, as you can see. Very difficult. So, what I'm going to do is, whenever there's a locked door, I'm going to mark it with a rainbow stone. And then we started with 22 rainbow stones, and now we spent one. So we can trace it so that when we are done, that one, by the way, is for progression. When we come back, that'll sort of, yeah, we'll actually come back to it from the other side. But we take the only other path we have and we fall down. So now we are in a weird random place that doesn't make any sense. And you can see now there are lots of these cages that are locked. There are 2 cages aside from the one we came through. So that one. And I marked the other one as well. So now we marked 3 different locations. And you can see that they are lighting up. This is where we came from. And then we go into the next room. So this is the only exit we have. So don't worry, you cannot get lost. At least not so far. What you'll get lost in this one is missing out on something. You can attack them with a piercing weapon through. But it's not really worth it. They're not dangerous. Not really. And here again. So we're down to 5 different locations we marked. And there's a guy up there who's standing guard on top of the door. And sometimes he falls down, sometimes he doesn't. It's fine. And that door is where we go. This is where we unlock the cave behind that. So that's going. And this is again the only place we can go now. So don't worry, you still can't get lost. There are 2 ways you can go. I forgot these. Kill them. The hardest part about them is that they're so small. Let's see. Okay, there's a locked door here, so we mark it again. That is the 6th locked door. And we have more locked doors. 7. The reason why we mark them is because then we can know how many we need to come back to. 8. 9. See, this one, for example, has 3 pieces of loot in there. Nice. And we move in here. That is now a progression. This is the door that unlocks. When we unlock the door, this is where we go to the boss. There. So we mark it. And it gets a purple one. Of course it does. And there's one more. That was now 10. And the last one here is 11. We are using 11 markers here in this dungeon. I don't know. It had it coming. I had to take those planks down. And we move on this long path here. And then we have a... Is it a drop down? No, it's not a drop down. Okay, follow the rat. But I would follow it in a sneaky way because there's a big rat. And you can take out the big rat. You do this. If you go the opposite, then you have to... There. Then the big rat will attack you from behind. So I would just go this way. And then you can see the small rats are coming. There are 2 more rats. There's one. And there's the other one. Excellent. I'm just looking back. Nope, no extra doors. So we have 11 doors we use. Oh, poison, poison, poison. So we go in here. This is where the jailers are. And I tried to do a parry, but somehow I missed. So now it just gets to the point where we just slash away at everything just to make... And it's fine. And I get poisoned, and everything is bad, and it get even more poisoned. It's all good, but we will use Fire Cleanse Me. That is going to be your bread and butter for a lot of these locations. You are going to need that Fire Cleanse Me. Don't know if it said it, but if you don't have that, it is in... Oh, let's get the loot. And we open the door. You can find it in a flame village in eastern Liurnia of the Lakes, southwest of the Church of Vows. You're gonna need it for basically anything that we come through later. We're gonna open this, so I'm gonna mention that again later on because for the next dungeons we absolutely need it. So we can now drop down, and then remember that we have 11 locations. I don't know why I did that. I just buffed up my weapon here. there. I'm going to switch to two-hander because there's nothing really to do. And then we start clearing out these caves, or not caves, yeah, jail cells, yeah. And 2 hits, that's all it needs to do. And they will start burning, and then they'll blow up. And that's not great. So just if they start blowing up, then you can either go aggressive and kill them before they blow up, or you can just run away from them. They will also deal friendly damage. There, but they're not dangerous. So that was the first one. This is the second one, second stone we're passing, and this is going up. As you can see, it leads back into the very first locked door we found. Which was marked blue. This is where it said as progression, and then I have to the left the way we fell down. So now we have tied up 3 of those empty, 3 of those colored stones that we've cleared out. It's just a matter of trying to keep some kind of sane overview of it. That is the ledge where we sort of progress deeper in, but we're not going to take that because the stuff behind us, the other room here, is also a dead end, so there's not any other exits from here. So we can just take him. I actually wonder if we could get some backstab on it, and we can do actually backstabs, which means we can just get free heals for all of this. No? Did we not get free heal? That's 1 more, that's 4. That one is not marked. Why is it not marked? It's because this is the way we fell down, so that's not why we didn't mark it. It was not a locked one. And over here, there's another one, so that is number 5. I wanted to go behind, but nope. The loot here is not fantastic, but it's you gotta get it all. So that's now 5 locations, and there are no other exits from this location, so all we need to do is move back to the other room where we also cleared all the exit, and we have the ledge to drop down. I hope you can kind of keep up with where we are. I think it makes a lot of sense. And then I realized, nope, turn around. There you go. Because there is a door here. That is number 6. And that's a golden rune too. That's like 400, so nothing amazing. And now we can move forward into the other location. Yep, then we will have all of these to the side. That's number 7. Oh, here we see what happens when they blow up. They deal a bit of damage, not that much. That was 7. Nothing else in there. Boom. Took out a lot of the other ones. That's number 8. And we just kill them all before they sort of get up here. If they all blew up, then that would be a bad time. But they didn't, so it's all good. That was number 8. And here's number 9. That's the one with the 3 pieces of loot. There is a wakizashi and a summon stone stored key, so that's good. And a rune 4. And where do we have it? That's the progression one. Here. And we just run back here just to see what is here and confirm that, oh yeah, this is where we go up to fight, where we fought the rats. To the left hand side, that's the rats, and to the right is where we found the jailers. So nothing there, going back, and now it's only time for us to go into the progression part. That's down there, the purple one. And so as we pass this one, we are now into a part of the dungeon where we have not been before. As we can see, we also see new shiny loot. And we get one of our stones, rainbow stones refunded, and we also get a golden rune. And now it looks like there's nothing else here, but if we just go over to this location and slash on that one, we find it in secret door, secret and secret, and we can then progress. So there's a bit of a caveat to the boss fight that comes up now. I've fought this boss fight before and it was super easy. So I'm extremely careless here. Don't do what I do. Basically what I would recommend is treat him as an NPC invader. Where you just go out and just let him do something, and then when he's done with something, you go in. I'm like, ah, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And I get absolutely wrecked by this guy. And then instead of healing, I place a blue stone, so that's lovely. And yeah, so let's get some healing up and running. Basically, we deal lots of damage to him, but we cannot stagger him. See, he doesn't stagger at all. Even with our two-handed weapon, which is what makes it a bit difficult. So, cannot be staggered. And instead, oops, also don't get grabbed, as always. Ah! So again, we are very close to dead. Yeah. And now it's getting a bit dicey, so we go away. I think I've shown every way not to fight a boss like this. Anyway, you just keep a distance and then you go in, punish, and then go out. In any case, he ends up dead, I end up alive, everything is good. And we get the Putrid Corpse's ashes. Putrid Corpses is actually, and I'm just wondering, what the hell is that blue one? The Putrid Corpses are the ones that blow up, so I don't know if they're going to be good. Don't take that, but go out here instead. You will end up in Limgrave again, and you get an actual good weapon here, or I don't know if it's an actual good. It's a pretty cool idea with this weapon. And maybe when you're exploring Limgrave, you've been wondering how to get up there. Now you are there, and that's it. We can move on to the Caelid Catacombs down south. This is a small dungeon, but it's super annoying because it's full of toxic. So when we come in here, there is a big bird that jumps down on us. You can either ignore it and pass on, or you can kill it. Birds they're pretty dangerous. But moving into this dungeon, it's surprisingly small actually. So, catacombs. What are we expecting? What can we expect? We can expect skeletons this time around, but also more out here. We can't see anything, so let's just run over to the first safe space. Space is over here. Get some glove wort, and then we get these annoying things here. Try to, if you just stay away from them while they puff out the Scarlet rod, you can take them out at a distance, and then the other one comes in, and you can take it out before you get too much affected by the rod. But if you are getting affected by it, that's why you have the Flame Cleanse Me. If you don't have it, get that immediately. And you absolutely need it, and you absolutely need it for the last dungeon we're going to do, the sort of the secret dungeon we're coming up on. So we move into this location. I kind of missed something here. I look and realize that, oh yeah, this part, it's really difficult to fight in this, and there's not really any safe spot. So I go in, and there's a big Miranda flower that does lightning. Oh, hello skeleton. I did not remember that you were here. So let's take the skeleton out. And at this point, I think, okay. Oh, that's gotta hurt, that arrow. Yeah. So, two-hander. Go in. I think that if I can just go in and let's just get like a few hacks and then dodge out and run into the wall instead of running into the corridor. And in the end, it just ends up with me being Scarlet Rotted. So might as well just go in. I think this is also the easiest. Just go in, ignore the Scarlet Rot, kill it before it kills you, and then remove the Scarlet Rot. These are not dangerous, so easy to kill. And as soon as you killed it, get the loot and move into a safe spot, and also just use the Flame Cleanse Me to get rid of it. And we chop up our healing and we can proceed. And here's another poison area. The interesting thing about this is you go in here, I go, I have not seen any place that I can go. So just go in here, hack the wall, and pull the lever, and the door's open. Very small dungeon, very simple, but hey, it's a thing. And the boss fight here, can't remember. I guess we'll find out. As always, I'm gonna, for a boss fight, I'm gonna switch to two-hander, and then I'm gonna use my buff, and we go in. Oh yeah, this is a cemetery shade. The cemetery shade is, I'm looking at it, go like, oh yeah, that's 4 hits, 3 hits maybe, 4 hits. So I don't really care about it. That's 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits, 5 hits. Okay, 5 hits. It didn't really deal enough damage to be do anything. Like 5 hits for a boss, really? But we got the Kindred of Rot Ashes, and we can move on to the last dungeon. Now this is on the ledge here. What you need to find is you go from the the western side, and you need to find your way here. Look for this little withered tree, and go to it. And then you can go up here, and you can look down. There's some ledges. This is ravine. This is where you can go in, and there are some. You can go in from down there, and you can jump across, and there is a dungeon here. This is so easy to miss, but it's here. Abandoned cave, and oh boy, what did I think that abandoned cave would be great, but the enemy here is way worse than anything else. Now this is the part where don't go in here unless you have either crafted a lot of the boluses to remove, or you have the flame cleanse me, because this is just flame rot with more flame, or scarlet rot with more scarlet rot on top. Somehow I don't manage to get in here. Pick up this and remove it. If you don't remove it immediately, you're just going to be ending up taking way too much damage. And also this like taunting us by going in here, and then all we get is some dragon wound grease. Okay, let's can we go back? I'll heal up, and we'll also just remove it so that we can go back. And I'm trying to just walk safely, and we take a bit of damage. And as we go over here, I can then leap so I don't touch it very much. Whew, that was all the Scarlet Rot. Now we will never see any more Scarlet Rot in this dungeon ever again. That's super lovely. Moving on to another location. And what do we have here? More Scarlet Rot puddles. Awful. There is a guy down here, and I really want to get all the backstabs we can at this location. So I'm fishing for a backstab, and I thought that was blocked, but I did not have the sword. Didn't get it. Just fishing again for it, and there. I got the backstab. Because I need the backstab because I don't know how many times I have to heal the Scarlet Rot. So I want to make sure that I have it up. And we jump in here. I feel that's the safest way to get there. And we go back without actually getting afflicted. So that's the second area of Scarlet Rot we managed to endure. Now this comes a few rats. That's one. And then we have here, and again, as with the other ones, I'm trying very, very heavily to get some backstabs on him. So lure him away from the corner, go in, and backstab. I want to conserve my healing potions and my focus points as much as possible for this. So that's why I'm trying to play as defensive as possible. And recover as much as we can. Now this area is really annoying. There's a big Miranda flower in there, and there are some small ones next to it. I would not recommend taking those out, because up on the ledge, sort of ahead of us, there are 2 of the Disciples of Rot, and they will shoot at you while you kill the other ones. So I'm going to go for those first, and I am going to fail at jumping. So watch me fail at jumping here. Getting poisoned, hit, everything. But finally we make it. I'm sure you can do it better than this. Get this out of the way. You could get some backstabs, but at this point, well, it doesn't really work. Cool. So let's move up here again. I just want a reprieve. There. You can see further ahead, there's also a little shiny up on the ledge. So we also need to get that at some point. I'm going to heal up the poison and drink up. So we are ready to go in. I'm going to switch to two-hander because now it's all about taking the small ones out. They're easy to take out. We just back out of the lightning storm. There are 4 of the small ones. We just wait for them to stop huffing and puffing and kill them. Get the loot. Get the last one. Ow, ow, ow. And apparently I get Scarlet Rotted because I was too greedy as always. This one, due to fully charged. If you fully charge, it just deals so much more stagger. There it goes, stagger. And we just kill. And as it's now dead, we can then hurry up and remove the Scarlet Rod, and we've already taken half damage just from that. Now pick up all of the Aeonian butterflies. They are used for crafting. If you can craft the boluses that remove the Scarlet Rod, I think they need Aeonian butterflies. Or maybe also Scarlet Rod grease is also something. Can't remember. They're used for something. You can jump on these things, and we get a venomous fang for our trouble. And then we need to progress. The only thing we have left is actually the boss fight. The corpse run in this location is pretty annoying if you need that. But of course we don't need it, because you can see how we do this. Now I would actually recommend taking this boss fight with a two-hander, but I think I'll take it with one-hander. It is 2 Clean Rod Knights we have to fight. And with the Clean Rod Knights, the good thing when there's 2 of them is that the first one spawns and you can go to town on the first one, and then if you are fast enough, you don't have to deal with both of them at once. Not as much, at least. So that's what I'm going to do here. Get a good stagger. They don't have a lot of hit points. They have this one that just blocks, and then... Ah, man, I didn't get any of these. That's annoying. And now the other one has spawned. Luckily, we can kind of ignore that. Kind of ignore it. Not super ignore it, but again, doesn't have a lot of hit points. There we go. We got through it, and now there's only one left, and it's easy because it really doesn't have any hit points. I was trying to get a backstab, but couldn't. But instead, we just wail on him, just like that. Complete stagger city. There, one more, and there we go. And you killed the boss. So that was the 5 dungeons here in this location. I hope that it was useful and entertaining. If it was, be sure to hit the like button. And of course, consider subscribing if you want to see more of these guides. There will be one for the other half of Caelid Wilds and Dragon Barrow soon enough. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care and stay effective.